Inserting a new attendance event inside of Inspire is very simple. Currently, I'm in the dashboard area of the Inspire software. What I'm going to do next is go down to the attendance menu item, click on that, and you'll notice we have a few attendance events. Now yours might be a little different than this. You could have some attendance events in there, or if you're starting fresh, you'll notice that everything in here is blank at this time. What we need to do next is go ahead and insert an attendance event and start putting people into that. Now remember, you need to have individuals inserted into this software before you actually insert an attendance event. Otherwise, you won't have anyone to put into your attendance event. So if you haven't done that already, go on back and review the inserting or importing video, and that'll be able to help you quite a bit with getting people into the software. Otherwise, let's go ahead and move forward. What we need to do next is click on the Insert button down here in the bottom middle of the software. We'll click on Insert. This brings up our attendance event will be added window. We just simply give the attendance event a name. In this case, I'm going to do a Sunday morning. Sunday morning attendance. Now here in the top, you'll notice we have a couple different types of events. We have attendance, summary, and a check-in, check-out. This will totally affect how your attendance event is run. Most of the time, you're going to want to use a default attendance event. Summary is used when you actually want to just have number data instead of actually having the absent present information. Check-in, check-out is more used for children attendance. So if you're going to check a child in, you want to have some kind of security built into that, or you would like to check out a child. We have it available where you can use the check-in, check-out and use name tags or rosters with that, but that'll be a separate lesson from this one. In this case, we're just going to set up a default attendance event. So we'll click on attendance. Notice that the attendance code's changed here on the left. An attendance code is simply something that tells the software, this is what I'm scanning for. Now you see I have some default attendance codes already in here and some that I have customized. We will get into these a little bit later, but I'll show you how to change those in case you'd like to. I like to go in usually and click on the modified codes list and just change it down to absent and present because those are the most popular attendance codes that you're going to use. And I usually like to have present on top just because it makes things a little easier later on down the road. So we'll change those around and click on the OK button. And you can see my attendance codes have changed. Now let's move over here to the right middle window, or actually a pane. And you'll notice I have two different tabs here at the top. I have individuals and I have ministry zones. Now, if you have a single ministry zone product, something like the youth assistant or the children's assistant, the ministry zones tab will not give you all these other options. But if you're using anything else that has multiple ministry zones, in this case, I'm using Inspire the Works, I have 4 ministry zones available here to choose from. What this is showing is it gives me the option to share this attendance event in other ministry zones, so with other ministers, or I have the option of pulling individuals from other ministry zones, or the last option of doing both. So if I check children's ministry, which currently, if you'll notice, I'm working in adult ministry, I could click on children's ministry, and what this will allow me to do is choose people from the children's ministry zone to put into my attendance event that I'm making currently in the adult ministry. If I check children's ministry in the share events in column, you'll notice that when you go to the children's ministry zone, this event will be available in the children's ministry zone. Otherwise, if it's unchecked, I'll be able to pull people from the children's ministry, but I will not be able to see this attendance event in the children's ministry zone. So, for example, the children's minister might come in. If this is unchecked, they will not see this attendance event in their attendance section. Now, you can't just choose children's ministry and not select individuals from it. It's going to make you select individuals because you'll have to have that option just for future reference. But in this case, let's make it where we can choose some individuals from the children's ministry. We'll also share this in children's ministry. And just so you can get an example, I will check youth ministry, but not share it in youth ministry. That way you'll have something to compare against and see how this actually works. So now I've selected where I'm going to get all my individuals from. I've done all the grunt work. Now let's click on individuals and go to the modify individual list. And this is where I'm going to use our individual picker as my fun name for it, but it's actually the assign individuals window to whatever event you're working in. Now, this is a very, very simple window to use. I can simply select individuals that I would like to move over and do that. I can select everyone and move them all over, or move everyone back. Now, keep in mind that when I move someone over to this left-hand column, what I'm actually saying is that I want these people inside of the attendance event. Now, just earlier when we chose the children's ministry zone, I made it available where I can choose individuals from those ministry zones. So currently what I'm doing is I'm choosing individuals from the adult ministry zone. But if I drop this down to the children's ministry zone, you'll see that the entire list of individuals changes now, and I can select those individuals and move them over into my event as well. Now remember, we did make the children's ministry zone available for choosing individuals from, but we also made it that this attendance event will be available for editing inside the children's ministry zone in their attendance section. But we did not make it available in the youth ministry section. So I can choose all my individuals. Another few things you might be interested in is that you're not just limited to remembering who needs to be inside your attendance event. You can search off of it. So I can go down and choose some of the default searches or ministry profiles, or what we call those. And if I choose all the ones that are in junior high, this would organize this list to show me all the kids that are in junior high. Or I can click on Quick Ministry Profile. And this opens up our Edit Quick Profile window. This is basically our search window where I can search off the list. Let me move this down for a second. I can search off this list that's listed here and then cause a ministry profile off of it to where I can just get all the people that perhaps have a birthday in January, or all the children that are between 6 and 8 years old. Or I could even search deeper into finding all the adults that go to a certain event and have a certain talent. Any combination of searching that you would like to do, you can do that off the Quick Ministry Profile here, and then it will sort that list for you later on. So if I wanted to say, just make it real simple, show me all the ones that are male, I can use that profile without saving. It sorts that list out for me automatically. I select all those individuals, move them over to the left, and then I do the same for the other ministry zones I have listed here for getting individuals into my attendance event. Now you also can pull from volunteers. Volunteers will be different in each ministry zone that you choose from. They could be the same depending on what areas they're volunteering from. One thing to keep in mind, though, is if you are selecting individuals from multiple ministry zones and they volunteer in multiple ministries, if you choose them from the volunteer section, they will be shown as a volunteer inside the attendance event. So if you have someone that is volunteering in children's ministry, but they also volunteer in adult ministry, and you're selecting individuals from all the different ministry zones, if you select that individual, then they're going to be shown as a volunteer since they do volunteer in the children's ministry. So let's move on with that. We'll select a few individuals from our adult ministry as well. Actually, I want to select individuals. We'll just choose a few different people, move them over, click OK. Notice that the color coding kicks in. Each ministry zone has its own color identifier, and you can see which ministry zone quickly these individuals belong into. I can also sort and see volunteers. Let's go stick a few of those in here so I can show you how that works. And it will sort out the volunteers separately from the individuals, or you can see both at the same time. This View History button, this is used for if someone is taken out of the event. So maybe later on down the road, months down the road, a person is removed from the event. It doesn't delete their attendance information. It just creates a history record on it. So if I go take someone out of this event, it removes them, but I can click the View History and it brings them back and it tells me what date they actually ended for this attendance event. So we've covered this entire window now. After you've done this, you just click OK. Your attendance event is now created, and now you can start to do all of the tracking of the attendance. You can set up your attendance sheets and rosters, name tags, And then after you've actually recorded the attendance, you can go in and search off of it. We will cover all these different areas in other videos. But for now, go ahead and create your attendance events, and let's move on to the next thing.